fans had never heard of.
Imagine being the best in the world at what you do.
23 college season,
You control the
Croatian
court,
guard led
you dictate the tempo, and you're on the verge of becoming the greatest playmaker in college basketball history.
While playing the kind of
But by a
relentless,
margin of just
suffocating defense that
0.2,
reminded
you lose that
old-school
crown to the
basketball
most
fans
hyped
of
player
players
in the
like
history
Dennis
of the
Rodman
sport.
or early Gary
For
Payton
most
when the
people,
Sonics were winning.
that's just a
The kind
footnote
of
in a
player you
record
don't
book.
want on the court if you're
For
trying
Nika
to run
Mühl,
anything
it became a
clean.
fuel that burned through 3
Caitlin
years
Clark
of
at
silence,
Iowa was
devastating
averaging
injuries,
8.9
and a
assists
recovery
per
process
game.
that defies
The gap
medical
was
logic.
0.2 of a single assist.
In 2026,
Over the course of a
as
season,
the
that's the
WNBA
difference of one
celebrates
extra
its
pass
historic
every
30th
5
anniversary,
games.
the real
Clark
story
finished
isn't
first,
just the
Mühl
celebration,
finished second,
it's the
and
reckoning.
the basketball world moved
Nika
on.
Mühl is
Nika
back,
Mühl
and
never
the first
moved on.
person on her
In
schedule
the
is
2026
exactly who you think it
WNBA
is,
season,
Caitlin
she's
Clark.
back. After tearing
Everyone
her
knows
ACL,
the Caitlin
after
Clark
tearing her
phenomenon.
ankle, after 16
We've watched
months
her
of
light up
fighting her way
arenas
back
like a
across Europe.
once-in-a-generation
And
entity.
Clark's Indiana Fever are on
She
the
has
Seattle
the flash
Storm
of
schedule
Magic
3
Johnson in the
times.
80s and the
Let me tell you
league-altering
what kind of
impact
player
of
she
Cheryl
is before
Swoops.
we get into the comeback story.
But there's a
because
secret
the two
that the
things
league's
together are
marketing
what
machine
make this
often
worth watching.
overlooks.
Mühl is 6
Before
feet
Clark
tall.
became the
She
global
was
face of the
twice
sport,
named
she
Defensive
came
Player
within a
of the
hair of
Year in the
losing
Big
her
East
national
Conference.
statistical
She
title
averaged
to a girl from
2.2
Zagreb,
steals per game in her
Croatia,
peak season
that most
at UConn.
Americans had never
Over her
heard of.
entire college career,
In the
she recorded
2022-23 season,
187
Nika Mühl
steals,
led the entire
and she
country in
holds
assists for
UConn's
months,
all-time assists
averaging a
record,
staggering 8.7 per game.
686 career assists.
But
at
Nika
a
wasn't
program
just
that
a
produced
passer.
Sue Bird, Diana
She was a
Taurasi,
defensive
and
nightmare.
Brianna Stewart.
She
Players
played
whose
with a
careers your
suffocating
audience knows
intensity
well.
that reminded old
In
school
the
fans of
2022 to
Dennis Rodman
2023
or Gary
season,
Payton
she
in the
broke
heyday
Sue
of the
Bird's
Seattle Sonics.
2002 single-season
The
assists
kind of player
record,
you never want on the court if you're
284
trying
in
to
one
run a
year,
clean offense.
surpassing the 236
By the end of that
Bird
season,
had set 2
Clark
decades
finished with
earlier.
8.9.
That record had stood for 21 years. Mühl
2/10
shattered
of
it
an
without
assist.
anyone outside of
That
college
is the difference
basketball
of one
noticing.
single extra
When
pass
she was asked
every
after
5
her
games.
WNBA rookie
Clark
season
got the glory,
what she liked
the
about the
world moved
professional
on,
game,
but
she
Nika
didn't
Mühl
talk
never
about the
forgot.
arenas or the
While
travel
the
or the
basketball world
visibility.
looked toward the
She
future,
said,
the
very
Croatian
physical
guard was
and
taking
much more
notes.
contact is allowed.
To truly
which I
understand
like.
the force that is
That is
Nika
not the
Mühl,
answer of
you
someone
have
who is
to look
afraid
at where
of
she
anything.
started.
That is the answer
She
of a
didn't
player
just
who
stumble
was
into the
built for
spotlight at
exactly
UConn.
this. To understand
Born
Nika
in April
Mühl, you have to start
2001,
in Zagreb,
basketball
Croatia.
was the primary
She was
language
born
in
in
her home
April
in Zagreb,
2001
with
to
parents
two parents
who
who
both
both
played
played the
professionally.
game professionally.
She was raised to be the
Basketball
kind
was
of
the
player
family
who
language
makes an
long
opponent's
before
life
Nika was
miserable.
old enough to hold a ball.
By the time she
There's a
was
type of
16,
player that older
European
basketball
powerhouse
fans
show Chrome
recognize
Basket was
immediately.
already trying to
Player
sign
who
her to a
makes
pro
everything
contract.
difficult, who makes you
But Nika
earn
chose
every
the harder
step,
path,
every pass,
American college
every
basketball.
shot. Gary Payton
And she
in
didn't
Seattle in
choose
the
just
90s,
any school.
Dennis Rodman
She chose
in
the
Detroit
most
before he
decorated
won
program in
rings in
history.
Chicago. Players
Gino
who didn't
Arima,
lead in scoring,
the
but
most
who
successful
changed the
coach in the
temperature of a
game,
game just
flew
by
across
showing
the
up.
Atlantic just to
That
sit
is the
in the Mühl
archetype
family
Nika
living
Mühl
room.
fits. She
He
was
didn't
built
just
to
want a
make
point
someone's
guard,
night miserable,
he wanted a motor.
and she found out early that
At
she was
UConn,
very good
Nika
at it.
became a legend.
By the time she was a
She
teenager
didn't
in
just
Croatia,
play, she
Sopron
destroyed
Basket,
records that felt
one of
immortal.
Europe's elite clubs.
In
A team that
2023,
had won EuroLeague
she shattered
titles,
Sue Bird's
invited her
single-season
for a
assist record,
week-long trial.
a record that had
They
stood for
wanted to sign
21
her.
years.
She was 16
She
years old
recorded
and
more
good enough to
assists
play
than
for
Diana
them that same
Taurasi,
year.
more
She
than
chose
Brianna
differently.
Stewart.
She decided she
She
wanted
became the
college
greatest
basketball.
playmaker in the
Several
history of the
programs
most
came
winning
recruiting,
program in the
Oregon,
world,
Ohio
all while
State,
being named the
Louisville.
Big East
But
Defensive
Gino
Player of the
Auriemma,
Year
the
twice
most
in a row.
decorated women's
But
basketball
just as
coach
she was
in
ready
history,
to dominate
got
the
on a plane
WNBA,
and flew from
fate
Connecticut to
delivered a
Zagreb,
blow that
Croatia,
ends
to see
most
her
careers.
personally. He sat with her
After
family.
being drafted by
He
the
watched her
Seattle
play.
Storm in
Mühl
2024,
said later
Nika
that
headed
his
to
visit
Europe to
was the
stay
deciding
sharp,
factor.
signing
He
with
was
the
the first
Besiktas in
one to
Turkey.
visit. He made me think
In her
that
very
he really
first
cared
game,
and that he
she put up
really
11
wanted me
points
there.
and 9 assists.
She signed with UConn in
She
November
was sending a clear
2019,
message to the world.
and within 3 years,
Then,
she'd break
in the
records
third
that
quarter,
Sue Bird had
the
held
world
since
stopped.
2002.
A rebound,
UConn,
a wrong
Mühl became
landing,
the best
and the
defensive
sound
guard
every
in the country,
athlete fears,
twice,
a torn
back-to-back
ACL
Big
and
East Defensive
meniscus.
Player of the Year. She
On
led the
November
conference in
1st,
steals.
2024,
She was the kind of player
Nika's career
Gino
went into a
Auriemma
forced
calls his
eclipse.
most important defensive
She spent
piece.
355
the kind who
days
makes
in the
the
dark.
scorebook misleading because you can't count the
355
passes
days of
she
pain,
deflected,
physical
the drives
therapy,
she
and
redirected.
watching from the
shooter
sidelines
she wore
as
down
Caitlin
over
Clark
40
broke
minutes.
every viewership
But
record
in the
existence.
2022-23 season,
While the world
she did
celebrated the
something
Clark effect,
nobody expected
Nika was
from a
relearning
defensive
how to walk.
specialist. She broke
In July
Sue Bird's
2025,
single-season assists
in a
record.
poetic move,
Bird had
she
set the
signed
mark
with
at
Chopron,
236
the same
in
team that wanted
2002,
her when she
a
was a
record that stood
teenager.
for 21 years
When
at
she
one of the
finally
most
stepped back
decorated
onto the
programs
court in
in women's
Budapest,
basketball history.
she posted a simple
Mühl
message on
finished the season
Instagram,
with
played my
284
first 10
assists.
minutes after
Not close.
355
Not a
days.
one-pass difference.
That
She
was
obliterated it. And while
No
she was
drama,
doing that,
just
she was
getting back
running
to work.
neck and neck with Caitlin Clark.
But the
in
universe
national
wasn't done
assists race.
testing her.
Clark at Iowa,
In November
8.9 assists
2025,
per game.
while playing for
Mühl
the
at
Croatian
UConn,
national team,
8.7
she was
assists
dominant.
per game. 0.2
She
of a
dropped
pass,
21
separating the
points
top
against
2
Greece,
assist leaders
hitting
in women's
clutch
college
threes and
basketball.
controlling the
One of
floor.
them at the program that
And
produces
then, her ankle
WNBA
gave
Hall
out,
of Famers
a
as a matter
severe
of
ligament
routine.
tear.
the other at the
Another
program that was
injury,
producing the
another
biggest
silence
star
from
in
the
women's
gym.
sports history.
Many
In
players
the final
would have
week of the
folded.
regular season, Clark
body
edged
was
Mühl
screaming
out
stop.
by that margin.
But on
2/10,
February 7,
one extra assist across
2026,
5 games.
Nika Mühl
Mühl
reappeared.
didn't say anything about it publicly.
11 points,
She finished her
21
career with
minutes,
686
and once again,
total assists.
leading the team in
more than Sue
assists.
Bird, more than Diana
16
Taurasi,
months
more
after
than
the
any player
ACL,
in UConn
3
history.
months after the
She
ankle,
was a Nancy
she
Lieberman
proved
Award
she is
candidate
unbreakable.
as one of the top point guards
Now,
in the country.
Nika is coming
and then
home to
she
Seattle.
entered the 2024
And the 2026
WNBA
WNBA
draft. Was
calendar
selected
looks like it
14th
was written
overall
by a
in the
Hollywood
second round by the
screenwriter.
Seattle Storm.
There are
and
3
made the
dates that
final
will
roster.
define the narrative
A
of the
genuine
season.
accomplishment for
May
a second-round
17th
pick
in Indiana,
competing against
July
veterans for a
17th
spot.
in Indiana,
The
and July
2024
28th in Seattle.
WNBA season didn't
This
go as planned.
matchup is different
Mühl
because
played
Nika Mühl has
16
the
games,
antidote to
averaging
Clark's
under
venom.
4 minutes a contest.
They both
She was
stand
learning
at
the
6
system,
feet tall.
working her way up, waiting
Nika
for
has
her
the
opportunity.
wingspan to contest
She didn't
Clark's
score her
logo
first
threes.
professional points until the
She
final
has the
game of the
lateral
regular
quickness
season.
to shadow her through
After
every
Seattle's
screen.
season ended, she
Most
did what almost
importantly,
every
she has
young
what coaches call
WNBA player
defensive
does.
pride.
She went overseas
Nika
to
doesn't
stay
want to be
sharp.
your friend,
She
and
signed
she
with
doesn't want your
Besiktas
autograph.
JK of the Turkish
She wants you to have the worst
the women's
professional night of your
basketball
life.
Super League. One of the
She
most
is the pest
competitive
that wears you
women's
down
leagues
over
in
40
the world.
minutes.
European
After 3
basketball
years
in the
of being
fall
the
has
runner-up
been
in the
the proving
stats
ground
and
for
surviving 2
American and
physical
international
hells,
players
she isn't
for
coming
decades.
back just to play.
It's where players get real
She
minutes,
is coming
that
back to
develop their
take back
games,
what that
and come
0.2
back to the
difference took from her.
WNBA ready to contribute.
Caitlin Clark is
In
pure
her very
talent,
first game
the
for
offensive
Besiktas
revolution.
against rival Fenerbahce,
Nika Mühl
she
is
played
character,
28 minutes and
resilience,
posted
and
11
elite
points
defense.
and 9 assists.
When
She
those
looked
two share
exactly
the
like
court
the
on May
player she was supposed
17th,
to become.
it won't just be a
Then,
basketball
in the
game.
third quarter, she went up
It will
for
be
a
the
rebound,
final chapter
came
of a
down
story
wrong,
that started
and
in
collapsed.
2022
A
and
CL
survived 2
meniscus,
surgeries.
both. She was helped off the court in
I
the
have to ask
79
you,
to
does
63
Nika
loss to
Mühl have what it
Fenerbahce,
takes to shut
and the
down
severity
Caitlin
was
Clark in
immediately clear.
2026?
Surgery came
Or is
November
the Clark
1st,
phenomenon
2024.
simply too big
the
for
Seattle
any
Storm
defense,
placed her on the
no matter how
suspended list.
resilient?
Nika Mühl,
Let
who
me
had just
know
played
your
a
thoughts
total
in the
of
comments
57
below.
minutes of professional
I
basketball,
read every single
was going
one,
to
and I
spend the
want to
next
hear from
year
the real
fighting to
basketball
walk
fans.
properly again, let alone
If you
play.
enjoyed this deep
Here's
dive
what
into
she did
Nika's
instead of
incredible
feeling
journey,
sorry for
hit the
herself.
like button.
She rehabbed.
Subscribe
she
to
posted
True
updates. She
WNBA
stayed
Stories
connected.
so you don't
And
miss
in
a
July
single chapter of this
2025,
historic
she signed
30th
with
season.
Sopron Basket of the
And share
Hungarian
this video
Nemzeti
with anyone who
Bajnokság,
still thinks
the
Nika
same
is
club
just
that had
another
wanted to
backup.
sign her as a teenager.
This is the
Full
comeback
circle.
we've all been waiting for.
In September 2025,
I'll see you in the next one.